Ray, can you just talk about senior day and what it means to you?
Yeah, senior day. It's really crazy to already be at this point, like just yesterday, it felt like I was in plebe summer, chopping and squaring p-ways and things like that. And just to be here now and just see how much growth I went through, how much growth the whole senior classes went through and things like that. Um, it's really awesome. And it's something like that I and the whole senior class is like thankful for.
So when you think about, coming in as a plebe, did you ever picture this moment? Last regular season home game. It's all coming to an end shortly.
Yeah, I think this is something that definitely kind of sneaks up on you. You kind of just lose track. You're in there, you're having fun with your boys, and then next thing you know, it's the last home game, last time being in the stadium, stuff like that with your boys. So I think it's definitely something that snuck up on me. It came much faster than I expected.
Can you talk about? I mean, obviously we talked to Connor McMahon, and there's like 6 or 7 offensive linemen that are seniors, but you've got a crew of defensive backs, Deshaun and Beatty. Can you talk about the camaraderie you all have?
Yeah, we definitely came in as defensive backs with a lot more of us. But at the end of the day, I would say the Naval Academy is not for everybody. It's hard, all those types of things. So to still have, Peel and Beatty with me, it's just awesome, because we've been able to grow over the years. We've been able to do hard things together, and all that sort of stuff kind of builds like relationships that are really unbreakable. So just to be able to still have those guys with me and be able to talk about different things like that, be able to be on the field and just go through the trials and tribulations of the Naval Academy is awesome.
Can you talk about how great it is to be playing a meaningful game on senior day for the previous 3 senior classes? They went into this game with losing records and a lot of goals were not attainable. You have some serious goals still ahead of you, beginning with this game.
Right. It's a blessing. There's nothing else that you will want to than to be playing this type of football. Especially like we have everybody coming back, all the seniors, families, and everything like that, and everybody's pretty much counting on us. And just being able to have our destiny in our own hands. Just being able to attack that at practice and just go with the mindset like, hey, this is on us. So to be able to do that, and obviously have the a conference championship on our mind and stuff like that is awesome.
Thanks, Ray.
Wyckoff. Yeah, Ray, I know how important it was for you to come back and play your career out at the Naval Academy. Does that make it even more meaningful senior day that, yeah, you had a chance to maybe play as a senior somewhere else, but you decided that you wanted to do it at Navy?
Yeah, like I said before, just being able to just know like how hard the Naval Academy is, but also like how much you grow and just be side by side the people who were able to stick to the course just like you and all that stuff. Like it means a lot. Just knowing like I knew every single person coming into the plebe class, and then obviously some of them left, but like the people that are still here, the seniors that are still here with me, like we've been through it all together. Literally, we've been through it all. So just to have them still by my side and us to be able to rely on each other and be able to try to set a new standard, set a new culture, and just get this program on back to pace where we want it to be is great.
And what does it mean for you to be doing that with Coach Newberry? He's been with you there all along. First as your defensive coordinator, as you came in as a plebe, gave you an opportunity to play, and now as your head coach.
Yeah, so that's also cool because not only was he the defensive coordinator in my plebe year, but he was also my position coach. So to be able to sit in afternoon meetings or lunch meetings and stuff like that, and get film, watch through film and stuff like that, and then to see him go all the way up and be the head coach and just see uh how he decides to run a program and things like that, and see all his visions try to come to play this season and stuff like that. It's just been awesome to see that, see the progress and everything like that.
Big game against Tulane. What's it like at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium for a big game with all your classmates and your company mates and everybody there and the place rocking?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like that. I mean, we have all of our classmates in there watching us, rooting us on. They basically sit right behind us, so we feel the energy, we hear it, all of those types of things. And then obviously we have families coming to see and just everything like that with playing a meaningful football game, with the conference championship on the line and stuff like that. I mean, there's really nothing else. There's really nothing else you could ask for. This setting is perfect, and obviously me and all of our teammates really appreciate it.
And what's impressed you the most about this Tulane team that's rattled off 7 straight wins?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they're extremely consistent. Obviously, they like to run the ball, but not only they can run, they can really get it to anybody they want to get it to. They have good experience and stuff like that. Um, they haven't lost any conference games yet, so just knowing all that and being able to know that we have them scheduled to play on a Saturday in our house on senior day, with everybody watching, it really just doesn't get much better than that.
Thanks a lot, Ray. Good luck.
Thank you.
Matt Adams from Stars and Stripes.
Hey Ray, appreciate you doing this. A lot of attention's been put on the offense and its growth. Where is the defense? What are some things that the defense has really focused on and has allowed the teams to grow this season as well?
Yeah, I think one of the big things with our defense is just the one and no mentality. We know every game, every play, every whatever is not necessarily going to go our way. So just being able to put that in the back of our head and then move on to the next play, focus on like execution, elite, running to the ball, different things like that, making sure our communication is on point, are all emphasis we have on the defensive side of the ball.
And what is it? There's a lot of guys that are going to be participating on senior day. What does it mean to have a guy like Colin Ramos on the defense?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome, Obviously, like I've been knowing Colin really well ever since he was a plebe. Like I said before, like we've been through everything together. So just to know the type of player, the type of person he is, and then to have him on the field and being able to play together and stuff like that, it means a lot to the whole brotherhood, to the team, and to everyone involved.
Having him in front of the DBs there at linebacker, does he make y'all's job easier?
Of course.
And what will that energy be like on Saturday? Yeah, there's more at stake than maybe past senior days. So what will that energy be like in the stadium, and how will y'all have to maintain, I guess, that energy as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously playing a meaningful football game, the energy would definitely be very high. I think as far as our football team, just staying in the moment, playing one play, wiping it clean, and playing the next play, staying focused, and then just putting the emphasis on our eat and our execution are all the things that we'll have to do, obviously, to be able to win that game.
Appreciate it, Ray.
I've got one. Traditionally on Friday night, the seniors get up and speak. Do you know what you're going to say yet?
I don't know yet. That's kind of going to be a in the moment type of thing. But I've definitely been thinking about that because these past 3 seasons, all the time, I just remember all the seniors and what they have to get up and say. So I think for me, it'd definitely be an in the moment type of thing.
Awesome. Wags.
Well, going back to the Tulane offense, I mean, they've basically been unstoppable. 41 points per game. They're very, very balanced. They emphasize the run, but when they take their passing shots, they're very successful. And the result is they're incredibly balanced. 220 rushing yards and very similar in passing yards. What do you got to do to stop this team?
Yeah, I mean, just being disciplined, focusing on our keys, and I think definitely a big thing is just doing your job, dominating your job, not worrying about trying to do someone else's job, just focusing on what we have to do, and then obviously I think one of the big things is just focusing on practice. Obviously we've been able to watch film and stuff like that, so whenever the scout team gives a look, just being able to emulate whatever that we do in practice, and so that it will be able to carry over to the game on Saturday.
So obviously they're a team that emphasizes the run. They have very good back, but when they throw the ball, what's your thoughts on the ability of this quarterback? And I know they've got a receiver who's a transfer from USC. He's pretty talented.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback's obviously really good. Receivers are really good. So as DBs, whenever that ball is in the air, we just have to attack it. That's something we always emphasize, and we're emphasizing even more. Whenever we see it, being able to go up, high point it, get our shoulders over their shoulders, and just attack it in every way whenever it's in the air.
Thanks, Ray.
Scott Wyckoff.
Ray, for you guys defensively, how helpful has it been that the coaches have been able to get so many players in and help you guys with depth recently to get guys experience for these big games going down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome, obviously. And then just being able to rely on some of those young guys, not only does that give them like reps and a little bit of experience, but it also gives the older guys a chance to take a quick breath, reset, and then get back out there. So obviously just being able to have those guys, being able to have that rotation and stuff keeps players healthy and just keeps us longer lasting for the football that we have to come.
What has it meant for you to be on a special teams with a punter like Riley?
I mean, it's also being Riley. It's funny. We always talk before a punt or whatnot, but just being able to be on special teams with him, he knows how to punt the ball. I trust him and things like that. So just being able to help him out, and then him help me out, it's awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Matt.
One of the things that I think in the Notre Dame game, besides the turnovers, Notre Dame really ran the ball, and then the big plays, they were able to get that in the end. What are some things that y'all are trying to focus on with Tulane? I know Coach talked about on Monday, he talked about stopping the run and eliminating the big plays. How are y'all going to be able to do that?
I think it just starts with focusing on our job and the execution of that. Trusting our keys, and when we see them reacting and things like that. And obviously, whenever they're running the ball, coming up with body parts, different things like that. But really, just keeping it really simple. Obviously, focus on all those things in practice, so that when the game comes, it'll be like second nature, and we can just move that way.
Thanks, Ray.
Ray, where do you think you've grown the most, both on and off the field, over the last 4 years?
I'd probably say leadership and communication. If you know me, you probably know that I don't really talk that much, but whenever it comes to like on the field or like in the locker room or things like that, like I've actually started to actually talk more and be more of that leadership kind of role and things like that, which is not something I was whenever I was a plebe. So yeah, definitely that.
Well, I'll say I'm proud of you, because I know the first couple of years you would run the other way when you saw me, and now you do a great job on these interviews. So I'm proud of you.
Appreciate that, Scott.
Does anyone have anything else for Ray?
One last thing, Ray. If you could maybe mention one or two guys in this senior class who you think epitomize what it's all about to be a Navy football player.
That's kind of hard for one or two guys. I mean, we have so many guys on the team that just do excellent things on the field, off the field, in the hall, pretty much everywhere. So I think our senior class is pretty exemplary.
What does it mean to you on this senior day to honor the seniors that have been with you for 4 years, especially this group of linebackers that you've been so close to?
Yeah, it's always a special day around here. We talked about it as a staff the last few days. It means a lot to see the way that these guys go about their work, all the different things that they have to do and get to do on and off the field. And I think for them, it means a lot, because it's they start to see a glimpse of all their hard work being realized on one particular day. So as a coach, you remember, like I remember my senior day and how much that meant to me, and I didn't work nearly as hard as these guys do. So it's I think it's a testament to them. It's a celebration of them and all their hard work on and off the field, and they deserve it and then some.
And that said, what a big game to have on senior day for them, an important, impactful game against a Tulane team that's really had a good season.
Yeah, they don't get any bigger than this. In our house, this is an enormous football game, and that's what you set out to do, is play meaningful football in November, and that's what we're doing here. And Tulane is really, really, really good in all three phases, at all positions. They're well coached. They're super talented. It's going to be an immense challenge for us.
And in this day and age, with coaching changes and players coming and going, with a coaching change that they've made, to be able to sustain what they built last year and really carry that momentum on, it seems really impressive, especially from this offense that is able to do both running the ball and throwing the ball even better than they did last year.
Yeah, they're very, very well coached, and they are very, very good players. And for them to retain the guys that they were able to retain, to bring in the guys that they're able to bring in, there's a reason why this staff has had a ton of success. There's a reason why they got the Tulane job, which is a phenomenal job, obviously, in a recruiting hotbed. And there's a reason why that they have the team in the position that they have the team in. There's method to their madness. I think they do an amazing job recruiting, retention. Obviously, a lot of the guys came from Troy, and they were exceptional there the last few years as well. So as coaches, we notice those things, and obviously the previous staff at Tulane did a great job. But then to take that and crank it up a level is a testament to the players and the coaching staff that are there currently.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, Scott.
Joe Miller.
Hey, Coach, wanted to ask, we saw Xavier Arrington and Mark Anthony Parker both had some impactful plays on Saturday. Can you give us a little bit of, a scouting report on those two guys? We haven't seen them a ton, and just what have they done to earn the playing time going into last week?
Yeah, consistent performance. And both those guys are very talented, like a lot of guys in the freshman class and a lot of guys that we've had around here. They're very talented, but they've consistently performed on the practice field, but in the meeting room as well. And they've picked up and retained information. They very rarely make repetitive mistakes. And they're both guys that really around the same time just kept building enough confidence and trust in the coaching staff and in their teammates for them to deserve to be out there. And both of them have been practicing and preparing in the right manner for quite some time. And they had the opportunity on Saturday and took advantage of it. Very, very, very proud and excited of both those young men.
Not that the run D was bad in the previous couple weeks, but it seemed to all kind of come together last week against South Florida. What did you guys do in particular that worked so well against South Florida, stopping their running attack that had a big game the week before?
Yeah, I think outside of the first two series, we tackled pretty well. The first two series weren't really up to our standard in terms of that. We were able to get that cleaned up. And we played good team defense. Guys were where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. We're getting gold hats to the football when we needed to get gold hats to the football. Not a lot of errors and misfits and things like that put everybody in jeopardy. And this is a major challenge again this week in terms of those things. And we've got to be even better. We can't be the same. We've got to be better than we were this past week.
For Tulane, I'll start with the quarterback, Darian Mensah. I was looking at his numbers, only freshman in the top 20 in the FBS and quarterback rating. I mean, his numbers are kind of off the chart when you compare him to other freshmen over the last few years. High play action percentage. They run the ball well. They throw the ball well. When you look at Mensa, what do you see as far as in the challenge ahead of you on Saturday?
Yeah, I was shocked that he was a freshman. I'll be honest with you. Just watching him on tape, and then looking at the depth chart and seeing it says a redshirt freshman there, you're like, holy smokes! So I think obviously a testament to him, the coaching staff, for getting him up and running at an extremely productive rate. Like you said, basically off the charts. He's a guy that he's got great command of the offense, and he distributes the ball to a lot of different playmakers in a lot of different fashions. He seems to be a guy that can just make plays and extend plays. He's a problem. He's a problem running it, scrambling. He's a problem extending plays like we talked about. And he's a problem with the short, intermediate, and deep balls. I mean, he's a very, very talented quarterback and a heck of a player.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Joe.
Flags.
So, PJ, Coach Newberry indicated that their running game is primarily inside and outside zone. Would that be accurate?
I mean, they run zone schemes, gap schemes, a variety of different ways out of a lot of different formations, offensive line, tight ends, running backs, are really talented. I think their receiving core blocks at a really high level as well. I mean, they're a greased up operation in the zone schemes, like Coach Newberry said, and in the gap schemes.
What's the key in terms of, defensively against this run game? Because I know they're going to be hard-headed. They're very stubborn when it comes to establishing the run. They're not going to give up easily. If you maybe pitch a 3 and out, it's not like they're going to just stop running and throw the ball. What is the key to trying to control this rushing attack?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to play great fundamental football one play at a time. And they have the ability at any point in the football game to pop a long one that can change the outcome of the football game. And they're really, really talented at all 11 positions, and all the guys they rotate in there are really talented. So the key for us is we've got to dominate our job one play at a time, and we got to play with great fundamentals. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's the God's honest truth.
So what is it about the tailback that makes him good? I mean, Coach Newberry indicated he's not a one-dimensional. He's not just a between the tackles guy, that he can, get on the perimeter and turn the corner on you.
Vision, power, angles, speed. I mean, they can catch the ball out of the backfield. They're all of them are really good, and they run hard. They have great vision. You can tell they've recruited a certain style of player at the tailback position, and they've got good ones. So there's a lot to go into it. I couldn't just tell you one thing, Wags. They're not one trick ponies. These guys are complete backs that are really, really good.
So looking at the percentage, I mean, they're an incredibly balanced offense, rushing and passing, but they run the ball at a very high percentage. So it indicates that their passing efficiency is tremendous, that when they throw it, they're hitting big plays. Is that what you're seeing? And, how difficult is that to combat when they're run, and you got to, bring more people up to try to deal with the running game, and then boom, over the head.
Yeah, they're difficult to prepare for. They're really good in the run game and very efficient in the short to intermediate pass game, the screen games, and then obviously they do a great job with the play action pass, boots, sprint outs, nakeds, and the shot plays that they have. It's a well-crafted offense with really good players.
So is it dramatic? Is it different from what Willie Fritz was doing at Tulane? I think you coordinated against Fritz when he was there, right?
I did not. The last time we played them, I believe
COVID
was
20.
down there during COVID.
Correct.
Yeah, it was a different offensive coordinator and different head football coach at the time, and I was the linebackers coach there. So this is a different scheme since then.
And lastly, for me, what are you seeing out of the wide receiver that leads them in receptions? The transfer from USC.
Speed, talent, athleticism. Again, really well coached. I'm impressed with every single guy they put on the field. Like this is a complete football team at really every position, and they've got multiple guys at every position. And you know how I am. I don't like to just single guys out, but they're talented across the board. We know we have our hands full on Saturday and have to play the best that we've played all year.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wax.
Tulane is 7th in the country in passing efficiency. Navy is 10th in the country. Pat Wyckoff.
Coach, I know Coach Newberry said it after the Notre Dame game that he thought maybe that moment in that big game was too big for many of the players. What's your sense going into this big game? How they're going to handle this moment?
Yeah, I hope having been there before and played in a big game and top 25 matchup, all those types of things that we learn from that experience, and we're better off from it. And based off of what I've seen the last few days of practice, we're preparing in the right manner. We're attacking meetings in the right manner, and we're taking step forward to be ready when Saturday at noon rolls around.
What has it meant to you as a coordinator to have an assistant coach like a Coach Brown come with you since you've been the coordinator, with the knowledge he has not only as a college coach but as a college player and a professional player connecting with your players?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think we've got the best staff in the country. I really do. And Ricky is tops of the bunch. I mean, we've known each other for a really long time. The kids love him. The coaches love him. He's just got one of those personalities that you love being around. He's a wealth of knowledge. He's got some awesome stories from playing and coaching. He doesn't forget much in terms of those things. He's got a bunch of one-liners. He's like a old man in terms of his one-liners. He's hilarious, but he's got a way of just sort of captivating the audience and being able to instill a ton of confidence in them and knowledge in them. But he's a phenomenal football coach, but an even better person. And there's not a day, there's not an hour, there's not a second that goes by that I'm not grateful that he's here pouring into our football staff and this program and our young men.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Scott.
So,
Coach Kenneth McShann obviously made an impact in the game on Saturday. We've talked about in the past sort of the unique skill set that you need to be to play that striker position. What does Kenneth bring to that spot on the field?
Yeah, I think everybody in this program was really excited for Kenny to continue to get better, to continue to grow, to prepare the right way, and have some success out there on Saturday. He brings a intensity about him, about the way he goes about his work. He brings physicality about him on the football field. And I think he brings a lot of instincts and playmaking ability to that position as well. And he's been a guy that just keeps getting better and better and keeps working, keeps improving. And again, Coach Brown obviously coaches him, does an amazing job with him. And Kenny is a he's a guy that has had some adversity and just continues to battle through it. So he's obviously on a team of tough dudes. He's a tough one. And we talk about, being able to play our style of play, being able to play smart, fast, violent, and together. And he does that. And I think he inspires his teammates as well by the style of his play and the way he goes about his work.
On Saturday, Landon, you know, from my perspective, I mean, he was just, I mean, it collapsing the pocket. I mean, that was as good as a pass rush we've seen from that position in a while. What did you think of Landon's performance on Saturday?
Yeah, he was player of the game for us in house. He was exceptional. He just keeps getting better and better, keeps learning the position, keeps playing with better fundamentals, pad level, all those things week in and week out. His eyes, his feet, his hands. His eyes are where they're supposed to be. His feet, his hands. They don't stop moving. He's playing better fundamentally, which is enable him to be more productive and be a force in there, and enabling guys around him to make plays. You know, and there was times where, you know, on Saturday the pass rush helped out the coverage, and then vice versa. You know, so that's a big part about playing team defense, is that you've got to do your job so dang on well that it makes those people around you better. And Landon is obviously continuing to do that week in and week out.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Joe.
Kenny McShann is the Brandon Chapman of the defense. No matter what's thrown his way, he's never had a bad day.
No.
Wags.
So obviously, one of the stiffest challenges of the season with a team that's averaging 41 points per game, you have a significant number of seniors. It's senior day. How much are you relying on guys like Colin Ramos, Kyle Jacob, Ray Lane, Beatty Williams, Deshaun Peel? I can go on and on of the seniors that are out there. Justin Reed, a lot of seniors who can lead you.
Yeah, I mean, we I'm gonna rely on those guys at practice here today, and in meetings here in 15 minutes. You know, we rely on those guys for a ton. They've been through a lot here, and continue to grow and get better, and fight through everything that they've been through. But yeah, Wags, I mean, it's a tremendous bunch, a bunch that, regardless of what happens from here on out, today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the rest of the season, that I absolutely love. This is a group that has been through, like I said before, a ton, and you know, a lot of guys came in with them, but not a lot of guys are going out with them, and I think that speaks volumes for this particular group. And they've been a group that we've put a ton of trust in, and a lot on over the last 4 years, and they just continue to get better and continue to shine. So that, like I said, this is a group from top to bottom that I love, and we expect them to prepare the right way and carry the torch for us at practice here on Work Wednesday, all the way up until Saturday.